tremendous looking trophy.
One on Platinum Explosion on One PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's John Blythe. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here and excited to talk about 20th anniversary of Sly Cooper. Am I right? That's what you devoted this entire show to.
So, let me be honest about something as I fix my fucking lighting here because I look like Casper. I nearly put it in the show notes. Was nearly going to talk about it. You know, want to take a guess why I don't want to talk about it?
Because there's nothing to talk about.
Well, there would have been if you lived in a different country. So, A, they're like, hey, it's the 20th anniversary. Cool, it's worth celebrating.
Yeah.
B, they've recently said, we're not doing any more of those games. We don't care. Cool story. C, everything they announced that I would possibly be interested in, cute little Sly Cooper plushie, limited edition cool poster, limited edition cool t-shirts, you know, all this stuff. Can we get it in Australia? No.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
No?
No.
Not even with expensive international shipping?
No. No, you can't even order it. Because they're all, it's through that gear.playstation, whatever, and we don't have that set up in Australia. So unless you want to pay one of those other companies where you can like do you mail it to like a fake PO box in America and then they mail it to
a middleman.
Yep. Take it to a middleman. Which I got to be honest, spending about $200 for a t-shirt. I like Sly Cooper, but no.
It doesn't make financial sense.
No, it doesn't make much financial sense. But anyway, yeah, happy 20th anniversary, Sly Cooper. Woo. Did you ever, and that's probably the reason why, did you see the PlayStation Australia account? I didn't see them say shit about Sly Cooper. They know. They're like, what's the point?
They know.
They know.
No, just upset people.
Happy 20th anniversary, everyone in Australia. You can't get or participate in any of the celebrations.
Or
yeah. That was the other thing. They put up the America Twitter account for PlayStation. They're like, they had a poster that's like, hey, you can celebrate by playing the Sly Cooper collection. It's available for PlayStation Plus Premium members. Can you play that in Australia? No. No, you can't. No. We don't have access to PS3 stuff.
One day.
Maybe one day. Yeah. Sly Cooper.
If those guys in Adelaide hurry up and finish the work.
Fucking, I don't know what they're doing. They're just like, figure it out. Which cord goes in what slot, just fucking figure out the amount of amps needed to run the place.
Man, just move the ones and zeros around. That's what I'm saying.
It just says 0011.
It starts working.
00111. It's binary, man. It's not that hard. It's literally two numbers. Anyway, that's Sly Cooper. Don't know why I brought that up. I was trying not to get angry this episode, but you just had to.
That's why. Yeah. Is that not much this week? So I mean, had to power this episode out with.
You say there's not much, but as I bang on my table, we got. Let's get straight into it. The Last of Us official teaser dropped this morning. Thank God you had to go watch the Florence Pugh gets pissy at Harry Styles, who's fucking Olivia Wilde movie last night, and we had to move the recording to Tuesday morning once again.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Because or else we wouldn't have been talking about The Last of Us official teaser, which did drop overnight.
See,
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde did something for us.
No. Thank you, Florence Pugh. We'll thank the right person. So let's get into it. So let's get initial thoughts, and then I wanted to.
You know what's funny about that? Actually, that screening that I went to last night was originally last Thursday.
Was it? Did they move it?
Yeah.
Why?
They moved it because of the public holiday they got introduced because the Queen died. So really, if we're going all the way back.
Thank the Queen. God save the Queen.
A bit late for that, but.
Okay. My mum the other day, I was like making some joke about like, these fucking public holidays. They're like, I was like, and then there's another one coming up the Thursday, and I was like, they keep fucking me with these public holidays and stuff. And she's like, well, they didn't know the Queen. She's like, they didn't know the Queen was going to die. I'm like, pretty sure we've known she's going to die for years, mum. I was like, it wasn't like out of the blue. Who was surprised? No one. How many fucking podcasts have I done where I'm talking about the Queen dying at this stage too? That's what I'm saying. Somehow it always comes up. Don't even know. Anyway, The Last of Us official HBO teaser dropped this morning. We're mostly just going to be talking about this week because it's pretty big and there's not much else to talk about. What's your initial thoughts when you just get that out there? You watch the trailer. It's a moody 1 minute 50, 1 minute 48. What do you think?
really good. You know, it looks very impressive visually. Obviously, you know, there's bits and pieces from the games and that kind of stuff. We still don't really hear Ellie or Joel talk, but you know, that's fine. Just setting the tone of the world and kind of the way that this has been marketed. Again, HBO was making it feel like it's a big deal. Obviously, saving this trailer for Last of Us Day, it all came together perfectly.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I watched it twice. I thought, especially because it's a teaser, right? It's not like Sometimes we do this when we talk about trailers and what you want to watch as well. I'm like, it's a teaser. The fact that they're not talking, it's fine. It's made to be a teaser. Mm-hmm. It's a very good teaser. It's not if this was a trailer, I'd say this is a bad trailer. Like full-fledged 2-minute 50 trailer, but as a minute 50 teaser, fucking great teaser, I think. You've got you see a little bit of everything throughout it, and that's why in a second I want to switch to going through some things, including some things that are like slight changes or deviations from the games, and not in a like, oh, fucking change things, but just like out of interest. But yeah, it looks very good. I think the music, the choice of song, very fitting for the franchise. What else was I going to say? Yeah, and then the way HBO is treating it, you know, it's like not, again, you don't see any, hey, based on the hit PlayStation 3 game or whatever. You don't see any of that. You see a brand new HBO series, you know, like they're like, get fucking pumped. This is a brand new HBO series. And then the other thing you see is from Emmy award-winning Chernobyl creator, Craig Mazin. You know, like it's not, they're like, they're treating it like, which is what we've talked about, where they should be doing it this way. They should be targeting this as not to the gamers. The gamers are going to watch it anyway, you know? That's fine. Yeah. The Last of Us fans are already going to watch this. They're treating it as a serious property and they're targeting it towards just HBO people, you know, anyone who likes watching HBO premium television, anyone who's watching House of the Dragon at the moment and all that sort of stuff. So,
yeah.
Cool. I want to go through, watch a little bit of trailer. Video viewers, you can see I've switched. I brought up the trailer now. Fucking if this thing works, I'll play. There's a couple things I want to point out here. So, this part where it looks like, I'm like, oh yeah. Reported signs of cordyceps infection includes coughing, slurred speech, muscle spasms, and mood change. What's a mood change?
So what people have been experiencing.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so is it COVID? I was like,
I don't think slurred speech is probably the one that isn't attached to COVID yet.
But the rest, you know, imagine if you got arrested for mood change and they're like, look, you've got COVID. You're like, no, I'm just depressed because we've been in lockdown for fucking years or something.
No, you just suddenly started acting like a bitch.
Yeah.
You need to put you down.
I think so. There's several things throughout this trailer that also, and there's one key thing that is a big sign that we're not going to rush through the plot of the first game in the first season. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be spread out a lot more and stuff like that. And one thing I'm hoping to see, especially as someone who, you know, I just recently replayed the start of the game. When they put out the PS5 version, Last of Us Part 1 thing. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't get... One thing I really wish we'd got is just a little bit more time exploring how the city feels in lockdown stuff, because you only get that one brief section at the start where you walk outside with Tess, and then afterwards you're just sort of going through hallways and stuff like that and having shootouts, but once you go to track down whatever the guy's name. I can't remember his name. Anyway, the guy stole your guns or whatever. Yeah. All that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping seeing stuff like this where you see people being forced by the guards to, I guess, paint over Firefly symbols and stuff like that, is we'll get a bit more time to see and hear the general feeling, I guess, of the local population. Maybe there are people like Firefly supporters, and then you're going to have people that are more, I don't know, for the government and stuff like that. The watch is something I've seen a lot of. I looked on Twitter briefly before. The watch, everyone's pointing out like how sad it is to see, because obviously it's a reminder of Sarah. Yeah. This part's stupid. I don't like this shot. This is probably the only shot I don't like of the trailer. The whole the very like just silly when you're lost in the darkness when this song's playing like this all that like posted on the wall. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But
who's bringing paint around the world?
I don't know who's doing that. Yeah, this shot here, I presume
you'd think it'd be at least spray paint.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like
understandable.
It was not blood either, so yeah.
Or just like a marker.
It's full on blood.
I don't know.
You get this shot here of it looks like Ellie's foot. Right, and then she's like chained up. I assume this is when she's dealing
during winter,
during the winter time period. Like again, I'm trying not to go like full spoilers, but we're doing a trailer, right? Like talk about discussion here. So that's the only time we see anything that far into the game. I feel everything else in the trailer is like usually the first like quarter or third or something like that. What's the fucking other part? This is when that's our first look at Tess when they're like breaking out. Yeah. And breaking out of not a great shot, obviously she's off the distance, but this is when they're originally breaking out of. Fuck, what is the city? Boston? No, it's not Boston. What is the city?
I don't think it's ever saying.
I can't remember what they say. No, it's a particular area. Anyway. So a new HBO original series. Not based on a new series based on the hit game and everything like that. I thought this shot was really cool too. Like the camera panning over.
I mean, yeah, because it kind of sets the mood, sets the world, dilapidated buildings.
Yeah. It looks like there's people down the bottom there too, like I guess they're not what the fuck do they call them? Like not clickers, but just your normal zombie type. Runners. Yeah. I think they call them runners. Runners, yeah. I think that's what it looks like down there. I know what this is. Is this Bill?
Boston. That's the city they live in.
That's the city they live in, okay. You got someone here watching a camera. I don't actually know.
Bill, right?
I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. This shot here is like actually sort of fucked up once you break it down. You've got when you actually realize what it is, on the right, you've got a skull, adult sized, and like you can't really see. And on the left, you've got a young child skull with what looks like a dress, like that's slowly being like
covered in rainbows.
Yeah, covered in rainbows into falling apart and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean it's a blink and miss a moment, but when you realize it's actually a child and potentially their parent, it's like a very close up shot of that. You're like, that's actually kind of fucked up. But I mean, The Last of Us is a fucked up property, really. So it's gonna be dark. This is in the
library, whatever.
Yeah, the library. The clicker here. This is like just after they're like on the run, and then they run into the old mate and all that sort of stuff. So there's better shot of Tess, I guess.
Yeah.
Who I don't think is actually here. Oh no, she is. Never mind, she is. But you just get split up for that brief period. Is what I was thinking. Clickers sound freaky as fuck. We get the one shot of the close up at the end, but. See, from the creator of award-winning miniseries Chernobyl, Craig Mazin. That's not selling point. I don't know what it is. This is winter. They've showed this shot before. Just the two of them walking across the bridge. This, presumably, or like from the game, like from this shot, it would be like to the right is where Tommy is, I guess. Like you sort of go down from that rough sort of area to where Tommy's little home base thing is. I know what the fuck this shot of it. Oh, this might be towards the end of the game. Maybe they go through like the tunnel and everything. Or it could be somewhere else. Could be mistaken. Ellie's crying here for some reason. Don't know why. That's our first look at Marlene. We get here. So, who I've presumed is the person who's doing the talking in the background at some point during the trailer. Like there's a voice who says, save the girl, do what's right, make everything right. Something like that is like what the...
Yeah, I have to listen again. It could be her or it could be Tess. You know what I mean?
It could be either, yeah. I couldn't actually tell. To me, it didn't sound like Anatov, but also, like, I don't know. Doesn't mean it's not
She'd be
her.
putting on some sort of accent.
She could be putting on an accent. She is a good actress, so yeah. Give her points there. Shout out to Fringe. But yeah, so Marlene definitely, similar to the game, you can see that she's got shot in her abdomen down here. So Although she is with someone else here. We never see in the game. That doesn't anyone. You never bump into her when she has anyone else, like any other Fireflies around her or anything. So, but that's cool. Again, I'm like expand upon everything that we didn't get. That's great. Add more people. Expand the Fireflies. Make the Fireflies look bigger as a group. Because the thing is, in the first game, the Fireflies never even felt like a big deal. You heard about them fighting, and you see that shot at the start of the game where like they blow up a tank and all that sort of stuff. But then you run into Marlene. It's like, okay, well, who else is there? Like, you literally meet like one Firefly. So if they can build upon that, would be good. This is a really cool shot here. We get our one moment of the Left Behind DLC. Makes me wonder how and when we're going to do the flashbacks, or if it's going to be done over time, like throughout the series. Like, they're going to spread out this story between Ellie and Riley, or if it's just going to be one episode flashback. I don't know. What do you reckon?
It makes sense to do it now because it's going to be more difficult to do it later. You know what I mean?
When they're older.
Just age-wise, yeah.
Yeah. What's the actor? Storm Reed? No.
Storm Reed, yeah. From Euphoria, right?
Yeah. Plays the sister. Can't remember the character's name. Anyway, plays Zendaya's Rue's sister. Yeah. I can't remember the sister's name, but yes. I'm down for either way, by the way. I feel like doing an entire episode flashback would work just as well as a spread out the story.
I assume, it's intercut between something else.
Yeah. Either way done well would work. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. From acclaimed video game creator Neil Druckmann. Okay, they did mention the video game at one point. But they don't say from...
They don't mention the word PlayStation.
They don't mention PlayStation, and they don't say it,
PlayStation or Naughty Dog,
The fact that Neil Druckmann gets a title card thing like this is pretty big, actually.
Pretty big.
Acclaimed video game creator Neil Druckmann. Only Hideo Kojima would get something like this, I feel. Like, he's the only other person I could think of who could get a card like that and have it mean something.
Yeah, but I think obviously we've talked about it before, video games and specifically Sony kind of pushing their
head
some of their creators to be in the regarded in the same regard as
movie director,
a showrunner or a fit movie director, so.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. This is our one shot, I think, during the whole trailer that we get of the start of the game, obviously. This dude flips up. I think he just turned the way he sort of flipped up. Yeah, it's fucking very zombie-like. I don't actually know what this part is. This might be at the start of the thing because you've got a bunch of goons in riot squad gear, whatever you want to call it, which you usually only see at the start of the game. And the only other time they run into a bunch of them is when they're trying to escape. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's in the city when they're going, doing a lockdown or something.
Yeah, potentially a lockdown starting, but you just got, And that could be Anatol there, I guess.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
It is? Oh, it is. No, it is. Yeah, okay. She looks fucked up. Looks like something just fucking crazy.
Yeah, believe it or not, the zombie apocalypse is pretty awful.
Yeah, pretty awful. So. Don't know what this guy is. Random dude? New character?
Random dude.
Don't know. But there's a fire. There's a dude. He's looking at him. Don't know what the guy is. Here's our first look at actual Bill. So this, I think they've changed from the game. So in the game, the first time Bill runs into Joel and Ellie is after they walk into that building and then Joel gets flung upside down and you have to do a little shootout sequence and then Bill runs in and saves you and you run off. But the way he's pointing his gun at the hole as he walks towards it, it's he doesn't know who's in there. I presume this is one of Bill's traps and they've fallen into it, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Is how I'd say that is. I'm so disappointed because I'd like to, the way that's a big action sequence, I guess, the hung upside down shooting thing. So that's fine. You know what this is? Flashback? Drinking wine? So. Something like that. To, I don't know who though. That's the only thing. I'm what? Is it Joel having wine? Are we going to see his wife?
His life before?
His wife before? Are we going to flash back that far? If so, okay. Interesting. This is from when they're escaping. This shot here where
The
Joel's
city, yeah.
yeah, Joel's beating the living fuck out of some security dude or whatever. Right, dude. This is when they're escaping the city, 100%. Because you got the spot, you got the giant light, spotlight, and everything like that. So Ellie's crawling through some shit here. I don't know. This part is the other part that's really interesting. So you've got Melanie Linsky. Is it Melanie or Melanie?
Melanie Linsky.
Yeah, Melanie Linsky.
Emmy Award nominated
actress who's in Yellow Jackets, which you should all watch because it's fucking fantastic, and she's like the lead actress.
And in a bunch of stuff.
And a bunch of other stuff. But I mean, most recently Yellow Jackets. This is a new character. E! News or whatever this morning like broke the new, confirmed that she's playing this character called, fuck, I should have wrote it down. I think it's like
Kathleen.
I was about to say Caitlin, but
Kathleen, the leader of a revolutionary movement in Kansas City.
Yes. So the interesting part in the way this definitely confirms they're not going to rush through to the end of the game is Kansas City is a place you do not go in the game at all. Mm-hmm. So it's on like the part where they get in the car and they fuck off and then they sort of skip ahead a bunch of time. Like you don't see a bunch of stuff there and you don't see a bunch of stuff after they leave somewhere else either. They sort of skip ahead, I guess. Twinja, right? Maybe. But either way, the way that the fact that she's going to be playing a character and they've cast someone as a like a prominent actress to play this character who's like a leader of a movement like this, revolution movement. And the thing is, she looks angry here. But I don't know if we want to assume that she's a bad guy. She could be a good guy. I don't know. Like, are we going to say every single revolutionary movement group, like civil, that we meet are bad guys? It'll grow old very quickly, I feel, if you don't have one that's even in the grey, something like that. But how do you feel the fact that they're adding in more places along the American road trip and adding in different characters and stuff like that, and not rushing to get to The Last of Us Part 2, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, kind of differentiates itself from the game. I'm sure it's much easier to tell smaller potential stories than it would be to do it in the game where you have to create some sort of gameplay element to it. You know, you can just do random stuff, I guess. So, yeah, I'm fine with it. You know, Melanie Linsky's a cool actress. I think it looks exciting for fans to like tell another side story that maybe they wanted to do on the games but never were able to. So,
yeah, I agree. There's no reason to really rush and get there and whatever else. And
no.
Like if you want to treat this as a big major property, which it definitely deserves and can be, then you've potentially got years of storytelling here. So to rush to get to the end of the first game in one season would be, I think, a disservice to the world and the characters when you have the opportunity to build upon them and introduce new ideas, especially when you've got Neil Druckmann on board. And, you know, it's like this could obviously very much be a thing he discussed, and him and Craig were like, let's add this new character in this new area. It would have been really cool to do, but blah, 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 blah. It works better in a TV show than it does in a video game format, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it also excites me that we could get, like, the fact they're not rushing, and we could get more time from the start of the story, more time in the middle of the story, more time at the end, and then by the time we eventually do get to The Last of Us Part 2, it's like, okay, we'll get, by the time we get there, Bella Ramsey will be a bit older and everything. I assume that's the other thing, like she'll get to age up a bit between as the story goes. And then you'll get more time potentially to interact with those characters, like at the start of Part 2 before shit hits the fan, you know what I mean? That will also be sort of cool to like not rush through and stuff like that. This truck here that has run up, that's the one that goes around just mowing down people in the city. What the fuck, Boston or whatever, I think. American cities, I can't keep up. This is from the start of the game again. Fucking plane crashing down though. They're at a next level.
That's it.
They were like, in the game, it's just some buses and shit crashing. They're like, here, a fucking plane that crashes. This is presumably Tommy in the middle.
Tommy,
yeah, I'm assuming, or maybe on the left, but definitely at Tommy's farm since they're all on horses and everything.
Yeah.
This part here where Ellie's like running down the street and just shooting absolutely the fuck out of someone. Can't figure out exactly what this is. This might be at the part. Oh, fuck. I can't remember the city again. I get so confused. But there's that part where they actually like there's like a sniper at the end of the street, and you sort of have to. There's like other dudes, and then you have to like creep down and like take him out, and then it's when you're with the old mate and his kid. All that sort of stuff. Fuck, I can't remember his name now. I'm trying
Sam and Henry?
Yeah, Sam and Henry. Like, I think this could be around like when you're with them. I don't know what the fuck's going on here either. I don't know if that's Anatol or whatever go is here, but big ass explosion happening. I can't really get a good. Yeah, what the fuck is going on here?
Seems like an explosion.
There's an explosion in a wall. Someone is sitting on a chair. People get blown a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Going back to the start of the game here with Sarah. That's Anatol. Again, Tess. I know what the fuck's going on here with someone that's like trying to light something and then the hand goes there. This part where they're crashing, this has to be after they get pushed off the road by the fake, oh, we need help. And then Joel's like, they don't need help. Fucking. This part here where Ellie is like covered in blood. Snow in the background. I don't know if this is like after she's had a fight with David or like they've just met up again after that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That could, because the way Joel's looking at her is very like, holy shit. You know?
Thank God you're okay.
Thank God you're okay. So, and there's our big old close up of a clicker. How are you feeling about them since you love horror things?
It's freaky looking.
It is freaky looking.
But, you know, it's cool that it's practical for the most part, it looks like. And that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
No CGI clickers, or at least not for close-ups, I guess. You know, maybe when they want to do groups or something like.
Yeah. I'm sure it's CGI.
Sense, but yeah.
No, it looks really good. I like the way I think the fungi looks. I mean, you can tell what it is. Like, you can tell it's a fungus thing that's sprouted out of the brain, and you can see clearly like human teeth and whatever else. Like, it's just this thing that's sprouted out from the brain. It looks fucked up, but that's the whole idea, obviously, is it looks fucked up. So, anything after this? Oh yeah, there's just a shot of them like looking over a hill or whatever. Then on a horse. Yeah, I don't know whose voice it is. I just heard it again. It's like, save who you can save. I'm like, yeah, okay. Don't know who we are. But there you go. There's The Last of Us teaser. I think lots of cool stuff in there to be excited about. We got no date. We get a 2023. The rumor is still, from what I was hearing, still going more towards what I was saying, which is like before June, I guess, like around that, like the first 6 months of next year, not the last 6 months. So hopefully, because I'm fucking keen. Let me watch it.
PSVR for the players.
All right, the only other thing I had to talk about this week was there was a PlayStation VR trailer thing that dropped as well, that I thought was pretty cool. I just wanted to... WellPlayed right here. PlayStation released a new trailer for the PSVR that details the key features of the upcoming VR unit. The 2-minute trailer showcases games such as Horizon Call of the Wild, Firewall Ultra, No Man's Sky, Resident Evil Village, and Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution, demonstrating the immersion the hardware offers. The main purpose of the trailer is to show off the unit's features, including a 4K HDR display, eye tracking, foveated rendering, 110 field of view finger touch detection, Tempest 3D audio headset, feedback, haptic feedback, adaptive triggers. Right, it's WellPlayed. It is a very cool, I think it's our best look, the best trailer they've put out for PSVR. Did you have a chance to like sort of flick through this? I didn't post it on the notes before.
I mean, yeah, it's an interesting trailer, I guess, showing off a lot of the different features for people who may not necessarily been keeping track of what's in PSVR, and then highlighting, I guess, some of the games that we know are coming up. I think it's interesting that obviously the new Firewall is heavily featured. Whether that means it's going to be close to launch or near launch, interesting question. Or at least it's being marketed as like one of their key pillars, which is cool. As you're a big Firewall fan, so yeah, interesting trailer.
I think the best thing the trailer does is it showcases what these dot points that you can read in a blog post and what exactly they mean. And the thing, we've talked about this ever since PlayStation VR 1, like it's hard to promote VR because the trailers just of course not, they're normal. They're not, you're not watching them in VR. So it's the same as like they're even trying to promote the 3D audio, but it was even hard to promote 3D audio just for the PS5. Like, how do you do that? You can't do that. How do you promote this haptic feedback stuff other than just being like, it creates stuff or whatever else. But the stuff in the trailer that I thought looked really good was, the way, so they do have that shot at the start of the trailer where they've got for Firewall Ultra, where they're showing like the eye tracking and they're using that to you press a button to open up a menu and they're showing it opens up like the switch between your couple guns or whatever, and the eye tracking is you're literally just moving the menu with your eye, like you're selecting left, right, up, down like you would on a D-pad with your eye, and then you're choosing your gun. So I think for people like, what's eye tracking do? There's a very easy to see example in a video that sort of explains that for you. Then they show a few other things throughout as well. Again, like there's stuff with the adaptive triggers and whatever else where, if you've used a PlayStation 5 and a DualSense, you're sort of good because you're like, I get it. But watching the trailer, if you haven't used any of those things, there's certain things that I think are just impossible to market. But I definitely feel like this was the best PlayStation VR trailer because it's the only one that's really showed off all of the features and attempted to demo how they all work. And I'm also going to say I think every game that's in here is launch. And I don't see why they couldn't be. Like, do you think there's anything in here that's not launch?
What, like day one?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I don't expect them to all be at launch.
Or at least launch window?
Yeah, like in like the first 6 months.
Yeah,
probably.
Okay. Surely Horizon's a launch game. Surely that's the big one.
They'd want it to be, yeah.
If it's not, I'm going to be very confused. And then the other things that are in here, like Firewall is technically a sequel, but it's also just building upon the base game. Like they're updating some of the older maps and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely going to help with how that game comes out sooner than maybe, considering it was only just announced, that would probably help with that. And then No Man's Sky already has VR, so updating that. Village is a VR version of a game. I don't feel like there's any reason all this stuff couldn't. What else was there? Walking Dead, that's already out. Like everything in here, I feel like could be very much launch. So exciting. Hopefully we'll get a more solid release date before the end of the year. That's what I'd want. To go into next year, to be going into the new year knowing when I'm going to be able to play the new PlayStation VR. All right. That'll do it for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion. We will be doing one episode next week as per usual. However, it's going to be interesting because that is PAX week. Sony is not at PAX. So.
Yet.
I mean, yet. I don't think they are coming though. So.
No.
But that's
fine. Do you know what I reckon? They'll have a stall. It'll just be trailers. Just a bunch of video screens.
Love that.
Running trailers. That's what we want.
Love that. That's what I want to pay to go see at a convention, personally. Bunch of trailers. So yeah, we'll do episode next week. The week after, I should be up on time, but yeah, I think that should.
No, so next week should be fine because it's before PAX.
Yes, the week after might be delayed though.
Yes.
Yeah. TBD on that, I guess. Anyway, PAX next week. Crazy. Thank you for joining us this week, though. Make sure you check out IR Twitter's explosionnetwork.com/Twitter, Discord, explosionnetwork.com/Discord. Join those things. And if you liked the episode and would help support our coffees for drinking during PAX, explosionnetwork.com/support. Ash is nodding his head like, yes, I need several of them.
What time do you have to get up for your flight?
I don't know, probably like 5:30. What time are you getting up for your flight?
Much earlier.
Okay. Well, you live so far away. That's your fault. Move to a real state, you know?
That's true.
Move to one that runs on real time, doesn't just live in
Perpetual
heat.
savings. Yeah, you know. This is the last podcast, last plat before the tyrannical daylight savings time starts again.
Tyrannical daylight savings. Does it start this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Rest in peace. I look forward to talking to you in the future soon.
Yeah. You know, well, you know, just gonna fuck with scheduling.
Yeah. That's true. Love that for us. Best time of year.
Love that for us.
All right. Bye, everyone. Every trophy counts.